watching us here on a fresh new episode of The Weekender on CNBC-TV18, and today I walked down the old office of Tata Consumer Products. It's a heritage building of a heritage company which is actually now looking to become the biggest FMCG company in India. What are the plans, and importantly, how is Sunil D'Souza as a person? We find out in this show. Come with me. Hello sir, it's a pleasure to be here. What a wonderful building. This is, what, 100 plus years old?
Sort of, yes.
Wow, that's the beauty of the Tatas, right? Every time you go there, there's so much heritage. I'm told that this thing is something special. You want to tell us about it?
Significantly more than my net worth.
Wow. Looking at your journey, you started out as someone at Lipton, which was an alliance between Unilever and PepsiCo. Then there was PepsiCo for a long time. And you ended up at a place which had an alliance with PepsiCo and Tata's, Narishco, which you bought. Interesting turn of events with some Whirlpool in the middle, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career with Unilever as a management trainee. Then for a brief period moved to Coke in India. Then 15 years with PepsiCo in Southeast Asia, and that was probably the most exciting learning opportunity. But then TCPL beckoned. Right? And the whole story was that the group wanted to change its foray into consumer businesses. We've got the brand name, we've got the resources. What does it take to change? And that was a temptation I couldn't resist and I've absolutely enjoyed every moment of the ride.
What part of a consumer business is closest to your heart?
The biggest thing about a consumer business is you've got to get both strategy and execution right. Right? I've heard a statement saying execution without strategy will get you somewhere, but strategy without execution will get you nowhere. So in a consumer business, it's not enough to get one or the other right. You've got to get both the pieces absolutely right.
Until TCPL, there wasn't a big consumer story success from the house of the Tatas. I mean, what did you bring from all the learnings that you've had at all the places that you just spoke about?
I don't think it is me. I think the group broadly realized, like I said, we've got the biggest brand name in India.
Yeah.
The four-letter word called Tata. You've got the biggest amount of resources. You've got the biggest amount of trust in Indian consumers. But we've not got our act together either in the portfolio or the distribution or the branding, whatever. So it was not one piece that we put together. The chairman and the board were very, very clear. We have to put all the pieces together and build a premier FMCG company in India. The FMCG business is not complicated. It's only, in my mind, it's three pieces. You've got to have great products and innovation. You've got to have great brands and distribute. All the three pieces, we were significantly behind industry. And when you pointed out to the board and saying, this is what we want to do.
I look at Tata Consumer. Earlier, it was looked at purely as a commodity company. You guys have, with the consolidation, the corporate actions that you've done, tried to de-commodify it a bit. And we saw that in the way, the market rewarded you all for it as well. But then come the last 2 years, the vagaries of commodity prices have again made it into a bit of a commodity company. I mean, how are you trying to further de-commodify the business?
So Mangalam, like I said, we're on a journey.
Yeah.
I would say we're in very, very early days of where we should be. It's a long way to go. So we focused the last 2 years on building the basic capabilities that are required for an FMCG company. So we put innovation is big. So I've got a great R&D team now, right? And the speed at which we're churning out products is phenomenal. Last quarter compared to the year before, we are at 2x in terms of new product launches. Distribution, right? We actually, I would say, we pressed Ctrl-Alt-Del. Yeah. Cleaned it up and started from scratch and built up an entire new distribution system, go-to-market. And we are right now touching about, I would say by the end of this month or so, we should be at 1.5 million outlets touching directly.
Much ahead of your guide in March 2023.
Correct. And then the other piece was, we've got the Tata brand name, but we've never advertised or built brands, right? So the marketing team stepped back, put up the entire brand architecture, and now we started powering it. So you see every quarter we are putting a little bit more, making sure that we are putting branding pieces into play. Digital, we were significantly behind. For a group which is known for technology and stuff, we were not quite there. And we built up a digital team from scratch. I would say we are just about average now. We're still not, but we're coming from behind. We've got a long way to go. Now we built the capabilities. The portfolio transformation is work in process, right? So yes, we are still highly tea and salt dependent, but if you look at the percentage of sales, the tea business is starting to come down because the rest of the businesses are powering.
So you are excited about the future, the long-term vision that you have. Can you tell us, if you can quantify, what is it that you would have achieved for you to be saying that, okay, you know, what we've done is amazing and now I can relax?
I think we've got a long, long way to go for that. Like I said, the ambition of the group is to build the premier FMCG company in India.
The premier FMCG company in India currently by sales is a good 4.5, 5x away from you.
So that's why I'm saying we've got a long way to go.
You've demarcated your India platform, India consumer business platform via your core, which has tea, coffee. Then you have the kitchen pantry platform, which has dry fruits, all of that. And then you have the ready to cook stuff. You have the protein platform, which is extremely new. You have the liquids platform. And then you have the snacking platform. That's what it's called, right?
That's right.
What is the revenue mix of this right now? And what is the ideal revenue mix according to you?
Like I said, right now we're heavily weighted on tea and salt, right? In the India context, tea and salt would probably be 90% of my revenues right now. But over a period of time, I would expect that to come down significantly because the opportunity in ready-to-drink beverages or in mini meals, snacking, etc., is significantly large. We've just started our journey, long way to go. Protein is a platform for the future because globally protein is taking off. India still very early days. We're just making sure we are there when the platform takes off, and we've still got to flesh out our entire play in protein.
Let's talk about the liquid business itself. I mean, you do roughly, what about 150 to 180 crore per quarter in terms of revenues coming in from Narishko. I'm just trying to understand where does it settle once its growth path is defined?
So let me define the opportunity in a different way.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of our competitors talking about a single brand being $1 billion.
Yes, we've heard that.
So if there is a single brand of a competitor being $1 billion, so the runway for us in terms of growth is significantly higher.
So how do you manage to make the product healthy and fun at the same time? I mean, just trying to understand the positioning.
Functional products are gaining ground.
Okay.
The catch is to make sure the functional products also have the emotional connect or the fun element to it. Now, the campaign that we've run, right, it's all about no gas. Right? And if you watch the ads, they're extremely humorous, engaging, right? And therefore, I would want to try that product. And once we figured out, once consumers try that product, they're hooked onto it. So that's one. Second is now we're extending Tata Gluco Plus into more formats. So we've got drinking jelly, right? Simply as a product itself, it's phenomenal. So as long as I distribute and I get my sampling through, then the consumer is there with me for a long time. But simply the experience of drinking jelly and that jelly starting to break in your mouth, I think that is a fantastic feel.
I think you would have got that from your running experience because a lot of runners have that drinking jelly. Just out of context, is it a KRA for people in the Tata group to be runners?
No, I don't think so. It's just that for me, I run early in the mornings on weekdays. Okay. I don't run marathons. But for me, running does two things. One is I keep fit, but more than that, when you're running for an hour, etc., it clears your mind in the morning, right? And then when you come to the office, you're hitting the ground running.
Let's continue our conversation. So, water, you've spoken about that. You've spoken about Tata Gluco Plus, the liquid opportunity, etc. You've not shied away from a lot of acquisitions. There is word that you're on the prowl for Bisleri. Is that true?
You know, Mangalam, the big thing is in India, anything that happens in the M&A space lands up on the Tata tables either at Bombay House or here. And it doesn't take too long for people to put in a little bit of spice and blow it up, even if they heard a whiff of something, right? So we are looking at all opportunities, but I wouldn't comment on anything specifically.
So this was just a whiff that came and there wasn't much spice to it and all of that and stuff, right?
I just leave it at, I wouldn't comment on it, right? So we're on a strong wicket organically. We will look at all inorganic opportunities as well.
At some point you will have to look at inorganic because of the 2,000 crore plus cash that's sitting on your book.